my downloads folder because downloading all night. Downloads, yep. 300 megabytes, 700 megabytes zipped. Hey there, Christopher Thunder from Rider the Storm in the World's Dirtiest Workshop. I'm following up on my last video involving separating your circuits out and making sure that they don't take the rest of the bike with it when they fail. Why it's important, and what happened to me when I was out in the dark, in the rain, in the dirt, right? Doing my worst, and did great. Got home safely. I'm still here, right? Bike is fine, no problems. But I lost my forward headlamps while I was out there in the dark, in the rain, in the mud. That is just not cool, right? Oh my gosh, you got this little headlight and it just shines forward. You got this little tiny spot which represents, where it goes, and you're flying along and suddenly nobody's going the other way and it's pitch dark, black. And you're like, I can't see, so you need your forward headlamps so that you can actually see. The other choice is get used to the idea of flipping your high beam switch on and off, on for nobody and off to protect the eyes of others that are approaching you. Because once they pass, they're going to get that full blast of the high beam in their eyeballs, and that's going to hurt. You don't want to hurt people. So, all right, so we're all familiar with Marvin the Martian, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck. Most of that stuff has been removed from television and can only be found on archives because of the somewhat racist and or politically dangerous concepts to children, such as guns and Yosemite Sam. Just his overuse of guns is just crazy. And then you got Speedy Gonzales and all that. I love Bugs Bunny when I was a kid, but it taught you some things about life that weren't exactly PC or politically correct. Now, on with disintegrating gun. The disintegrating gun was a concept that was in one of Bugs Bunny's old cartoons. The gun had the words written on the side of it, disintegrating gun. And I'm pretty sure it was Daffy Duck. He pointed it at Marvin the Martian and squeezed the trigger, and the gun just kind of broke up in little pieces and fell out of his hand. So he goes, what do you know? It disintegrated. The disintegrating gun, right? So on my NC700X, I have a switch in a barrel and a little tiny pill bottle. Throw the switch on, everything works. You throw the switch off, you lose your lights, forward lamps, your night glow, and you lose power to the cell phone. Okay. Now, the self-destruct switch was labeled self-destruct so people wouldn't play with it should they happen to get into my frunk. But I have never had that problem, but it's still there. It just hangs loose inside the frunk, and it's always on. And I have a little cap over it to keep the switch from accidentally getting flipped when I put things into the frunk. That actually happened one time. So I shut off my forward lamps by putting things into the frunk. Yeah, not cool. Put a cap on it. Okay, so the disintegrating gun. Oh, I love this bit. Here we go.
Got the drop on you with my disintegrating pistol. And brother, when it disintegrates, it disintegrates. Well, what do you know? It's disintegrated.
This is the plan for my motorcycle in terms of how it functions and everything. You got your battery, you have your fuses, you have your ground, you have the driving lights up here and the night glow over there. It's really pretty simple. I have a single switch in the diagram here. It actually is two switches in series. It's one on the bars and one in the frunk. And the one in the frunk is called self-destruct. It's actually labeled self-destruct. I find that really hilarious. What is even more funny is that the other night, that self-destructed. And then I had no function whatsoever in the switching system to get power to the lights and the LED systems. Wow, isn't that silly? In my hand is the self-destruct switch. You can see one of the terminals is a little bent there. The reason it's bent is because the switch overheated and bent the terminal, and the switch is burnt out. Isn't that fun? The self-destruct switch self-destructed. It melted and burned out. So as funny as that all is, that is a lesson for me, and now something I've shared on YouTube for everyone else. Switches are not circuit breakers. They leak. They leak a certain amount of voltage through the switch at all times. That's why you have circuit breakers in your house and switches on your wall. Okay, switches leak current. And sometimes when you push enough current through it, or you pull it through, you will get that particular item to heat up, and it'll self-destruct if the heat's too intense. So the terminals bent, overheated, melted, the switch expanded, and failed. So that's how you can visually inspect a switch for failure. Did the switch swell up? Did the terminals bend? Or something like that. And, you know, this is going to happen. It's going to happen to your motorcycle numerous times throughout your lifetime. And when it does, you have to understand how to quickly resolve it. I have another video for that. And you want to keep riding, right? You got to keep the wheels down and, you know, keep going. So that is my lesson for today. And I want to thank everybody for watching the World's Dirtiest Workshop and Rider of the Storm. This is Christopher Thunder saying bye-bye.